I'm 46. I was born and raised in Warren, Ohio. I grew up on the west side of Warren, and it was a middle-class neighborhood. It was all white. There were a lot of kids my age. I had a lot of friends. There were some old people that lived right next door that were really nice. Our backyard had a fence around it. We stayed in our yard and had to let our parents know if we were going anywhere. Had to be home before the street lights came on. It was a pretty safe neighborhood. It was nice growing up. Actually, my mom still lives in the house that we all grew up in, and the whole neighborhood, the property values have depreciated. There are hardly any young kids left in the neighborhood. It's very integrated racially now, and it really doesn't feel the same. I bike to the public library from Warren. I mean, it's on Mahoning Avenue here in town. It's a couple miles, and I wouldn't let my kids do that now. If I lived in Warren, I wouldn't let them ride their bike to the library by themselves, but I did that then, so it's gone downhill. My mom and dad, they were married. They both worked outside of the house. They shared the housework. My dad did laundry and cleaned the house and did the yard work, and he helped my mom out on the inside, and she went to work and took care of us kids. It was a first marriage for both. I have 3 younger sisters. One of them is just maybe 18 months younger than me, and then the other 2 were like a different family. They're very much younger. One's 16 years younger than me, and one's 11 years younger than me. So I spent a lot of time babysitting them. I can remember my parents discussing things, especially like around presidential elections, but they weren't overly vocal about it. They were kind of like, they discussed it between themselves, but they didn't campaign, and we didn't have signs in the yards, nothing like that. I knew that there was a civic duty, and I knew that my parents voted and everything, but they weren't real outspoken about it. My mom's family is from West Virginia, and a lot of them still live back there, and my one favorite aunt has a farm. She still has it, and so my parents used to take us down, and we would spend the summers down there, and that was really fun. I remember getting up in the morning, myself and my sister and my cousins, and my mom and my aunt would pack us a lunch and send us outside as soon as we got up in the morning and had our breakfast, and we never came back in until dark. And they never worried once about where we were or what we were doing, because they knew we were on the farm somewhere. And there were enough of us in the gang running around that if something happened, one of us could run back to the house for help. But yeah, we just ran the farm. It was fun. They didn't want us sitting in the house watching TV in the summertime, and there weren't video games back then, so it was find your own amusements outside. My favorite was one that we used to play in West Virginia. It was called Kick the Can. It was kind of like hide and go seek, but you played it in the dark, and the base was just an old coffee can that we would set up in the middle of the yard, and you would hide, and then the person that was it would have to go try to find you, and then as they were off looking in another direction, you would run in and kick the can, and you were safe. And then whoever was the last one, I think first one caught or the last one into base safe was it in the next round. That was a fun game. Bell bottoms, tie-dye, because I started school I was born in '61, so started school in '66. So the '60s, '70s, graduated in '79. Long hair on the guys. It's just everything that's coming back in style now, was popular then. AM radio, it was Hot 101. I don't think it was Hot 101 then. I can't remember what it was called, but it was AM radio stations. We used to listen to rock and roll. And then Y103 came on the air, so then we got some FM tunes on too. But my parents listened to country music, so I actually listened to country while I was with them, and then when I was with my friends or in my room, we'd listen to rock. Now I like to go to rock concerts. I've been to see Eminem 3 times. We went to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I've seen Green Day twice. We're going to see Rock on the Range in Columbus for the weekend in May, and Stone Temple Pilots will be there, and Kid Rock, and yeah, it's going to be great. I thought I wanted to be a nurse like my mom, and I actually went to college, and I made it through 1 whole semester at the University of Akron in the nursing program, and I decided I didn't want to do that. I really never thought about it after that. I just wanted to get a job and be able to support myself, and I've been really fortunate to be able to find a decent paying job in this area. I worked in the medical field for a while. After the nursing program didn't pan out at Akron, I came home and lived with my parents and put myself through Trumbull Business College, and I got a certificate in medical secretarial practices. And after I graduated from there, I got a job for a couple different orthopedic surgeons in the area. And after my second son was born, I got a job at St. Joe's Hospital, and I worked in the admissions department there and ambulatory registration, the same-day surgery department. And I worked for St. Joe's for 9 years before I came to Kent. And I've been here, I'm just turned 9 years here. So I've had a pretty stable, pretty lucky work history, I'd say. I hated math. I really liked English and spelling. I just had this fascination with diagramming sentences. I just really enjoyed it. Science, anything other than math, I enjoyed. And I was a pretty good student too. My parents really were encouraging for us to get good grades. We always had, if we had to do homework, it had to be done as soon as we got home before we could go out and play. And I think that really instilled a good study habits in me. And I'm taking classes now actually while I work here, so it helps. I'm just trying to get my Associates of Arts and Science. I had originally thought I was going to go through the ITAP program, but they seem to be phasing that out. Every time I would register for a class, it would get canceled. So I switched my major. Fee waiver, tuition fee waiver is one of the benefits you get when you're a university employee, and I really think it's a waste not to use it. So I'm just plugging along a class a semester or every other semester to take advantage of that benefit. Well, I hope to have enough money to retire someday. I think now more and more people are expecting to work, later. Used to be, you knew when you turned 62 you could retire. I think I'll probably be working for another 30 years or so. I would just like to have my house paid off, so I, just worry about my utilities and my food and not have to worry about working for the whole rest of my life.